29th of January 2013. Climate change is blamed for Australia's extreme weather. The east coast of Australia has been drenched by floods and torrential rains, even as recent bushfires affecting much of the country continue to burn.
The 23rd of March 2013. Snow forecast to further delay UK spring. Britain faces wintry weekend as heavy rain, strong winds and snow expected to affect much of the country. They will see no let-up in the bad weather over the weekend.
March the 14th, 2013. One woman who's visibly upset starts to speak. The flood scared her, she says. The force of the water, the speed at which it rushed and how quickly it crept is described in detail. She indicates on her legs how quickly the levels rose. First at her ankles, then her knees, her thighs, and then she was left up to her waist.
27th of February 2013. British Gas profits up months after hiking prices. British Gas has revealed an 11% increase in profits today, just months after hiking customer tariffs. Its residential business made $606 million in 2012, with parent company Centrica saying the rise in profits came after colder than normal weather saw gas use leap compared with
Wednesday the 30th of January 2013. Here in Mozambique, the rainy season has brought disaster for as many as 110,000 people living in the Limpopo Valley, as surging water over recent days has flooded their crops, capsized their towns and villages, and forced their evacuation to higher ground. 40 people are believed to have died in the floods so far. It's expected that as many as 150,000 people may ultimately be affected. A UN reconnaissance plane that flew over the valley on Monday.
The Minority Ethnic Voluntary and Community Sector, BME VCS, supports society's most vulnerable groups. But as the economic climate pushes more people to the margins, the BME VCS is under serious threat from the scale and size of funding cuts. Recent riots point to the disaffection felt by different communities, both BME and non-BME. More than ever, the BME VCS needs funding and support to provide lifelines for people marginalised from mainstream society.
There are times when only a mother's love can understand our tears, can soothe our disappointments, and calm all of our fears. There are times when only a mother's love can share the joy we feel, when something we've dreamed about quite suddenly is real. There are times when only a mother's faith can help us on life's way and inspire us in the confidence we need from day to day. For a mother's heart and a mother's faith and a mother's steadfast love were fashioned by the
March
angels and sent from God
2013.
above.
Rhino slaughter will break records. Most of the world's wild rhinos live in South Africa. South African officials have warned a major conservation meeting that the poaching of rhinos is likely to reach record levels this year. Delegates at the city's conference in Bangkok heard that to date 146 animals have been killed for their horns in 2013. The South Africans
11th of March
that a
2013. Traffic noise is driving songbirds to the limit in cities. The rising level of noise in urban areas may be preventing some species of songbirds from setting up home in developed areas, a study has concluded. Canadian researchers found that noisy surroundings mask the lower frequencies of bird songs, affecting the way some species communicated. Unable to hear all elements of a song, females can perceive singing males as ill-suited males. They added that there have been growing interest in preserving or increasing the biodiversity of songbirds in urban areas, explained the co-author
She
Darren
didn't
Prop.
speak when she came.
At the same time,
we find that with a lot of children. Their parents tell us that they are much more fearful of everything now, after the floods, and some don't talk at all, feel lost. Serena and her colleagues work with hundreds of children here, and even more again at 6 other camps in the area, with supplies from UNICEF. It is a huge workload for a team of 3. She says that a lot of children feel they have lost their identity. The experience of having to leave home quickly and leave their normal lives behind has made them feel lost.
Thursday,
These
the
children have had to
21st
leave
of
behind
March
everything they know. They
2013,
leave their
George
friends,
Osborne's
everything they
2013
know
budget
behind, and they
will
don't
increase
fit in
racism
anywhere
again.
because it
When you strip away the rhetoric of George Osborne's miserable little budget, one sees higher borrowing, unemployment up, no growth and no response that will in any way alleviate the acute distress being suffered by poor black and Muslim communities, asylum seekers, immigrants and refugees. Black communities are now suffering unprecedented casualties in the coalition government's ideological war against the poor. This coalition government gives bailouts to the bankers and imposes a bedroom tax on the poor. They ensure tax cuts for millionaires using money taken from welfare budgets. They privatise our NHS and atomise their education system. For our communities who, prior to this recession, were suffering from heavy collateral damage as a result of long-term and criminally high levels of poverty,
21st of
and racial
February,
inequality,
US drought to spread in California, Florida, the government forecast. The historic US drought of 2012 could spread this spring to more of California and southern Florida, balancing improvement expected in the upper Midwest and parts of the South, government climate and agricultural experts said on Thursday. They also projected a warmer than normal summer over almost the entire United States.
March the 21st,
except for the extreme
2013.
northern plains,
Drought of
Rocky Mountain
equity.
states.
A large part of
Pacific.
Maharashtra has
Even
been
northern
declared
Alaska is
drought
expected
hit,
to see
but
more
distribution of water is quite incongruous. While the few who are politically and financially powerful take the lion's share for sugarcane crops, thermal plants and other industries, the rest are struggling to survive. The government has failed to deal with the crisis, reports Aparna Pallavi and Akshay Dushman from the state. Stark yellow hills surround a fodder camp at Salte village in Maharashtra's Solapur district. In the afternoon heat, cattle desultorily mulch on hard chunks of sugarcane while farmers doze in nooks of shade. The picture of drought is dismal, but the lush green banana plantation barely 500 feet away is puzzling. Maybe that farmer has a poor well, says farmer Motiram Gaj. Maybe powerful people here are growing banana and sugarcane despite the drought. Gaj's animals walk 14
I am
kilometres
too young
every
to
day
remember,
fast drying down.
yet I have inherited this. I played no part as an innocent child, but I must face the consequences. Because the wounds are not healed. We tried to make it better, but the hurt, the bitterness runs so deep. Sometimes it feels like we're fighting a losing battle. It is an
20th of
unserved
March
part that we play
2013.
in trying to undo
Budget
the injustices.
2013. Little or nothing for poorest families. Poverty campaigners and think tanks have voiced disappointment over the 2013 budget statement, accusing the Chancellor of doing little or nothing to help those on lowest incomes. Against a backdrop of sluggish economic growth and high borrowing, the budget used savings from deeper public spending cuts to give tax breaks to businesses and those on middle and higher incomes. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation said the Chancellor had failed to deliver an anti-poverty budget that would boost living standards and ease the strain on poor families. The Resolution Foundation think tank pointed out that most of the benefit of income tax cuts went to higher
18th of
income
February
households, at the same time
2013.
families on lower incomes.
Oil company mega profits and the dwindling
The
public
Child Poverty
purse.
Action Group accused the government
As well as making huge profits at the expense of the UK public purse, oil companies do everything they can to minimise paying tax in countries where they extract oil. In 2009, BP was fined $275 million
Tuesday the
by
19th
the
of March
Turkish finance
2013.
for
My name
evading
is Esha.
taxes.
My name is Esha. I'm a
Heritage
secondary
run by the
school
ex-mercenary
student.
Turkish
Geography has always
tried
fascinated
to
me.
dodge
Not
paying
only
capital
is the
gains
earth a
tax
beautiful
for
place, but that it is in
$1.5
one
billion
desperate need of our help. However, yet again, our government, part of the generation who bear more responsibility for this problem, intend to not only fail to act on climate change themselves, but to obscure the truth and any chance young people have to act. It is outrageous that Michael Gove can even consider the elimination of climate change education for under 14s. This education is vital if we want young people to be as skilled and informed as I and others like me are in taking on this challenge today. The biggest surprise of all has been the reaction from organisations such as the Royal Geographical Society and the Geographical Association. They welcome these shocking changes.
10th of February 2013, Peru, Chile and Bolivia hit by floods after heavy rain. Torrential rain has been causing havoc along the Pacific coast side of South America, with flooding causing the deaths of at least 6 people in Peru. In the southern city of Arequipa, thousands of people were left without electricity and drinking water.
Heavy rain and snow caused disruption. Heavy rainfall is causing flooding in the southwest of England, while snow has fallen in parts of the UK, with more disruption expected later. In Devon and Cornwall, homes have flooded and drivers have been rescued from their cars. The Environment Agency has 18 flood warnings in place for the southwest. The Met Office has 2 amber warnings for snow, covering much of the UK.
Very, very massive thank you to Michelle and Kooj. I hope that you agree with me that that was well worth starting the conference with.